We are now going on, and it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Kwasi Agyeman Busia. Mr. Kwasi Agyeman Busia is the Chief Executive of DVLA, Driver Vehicle Licensing Authority in Ghana, and he has over 20 years of hands-on experience in business and technology development, strategic planning, project and people management. Until his appointment as the Chief Executive of the DVLA, Mr. Busia was the Information Service Manager of Tilon Ghana Limited. He has also worked as a program manager and as an informatic director of the Center of Disease Control. So welcome, and I hand over to you, Mr. Kwasi Agyeman Busia.
My assignment this morning, I will focus on the evolution of the DVLA story as an example of public sector leadership and its impact. A Chinese novelist, Lu Xun, in 1921, almost 100 years ago, accurately captured the very spirit of the DVLA evolution in his book, My Old Home. In it he says, "Hope cannot be said to exist, nor can it be said not to exist. It is just like roads across the earth. For actually the earth had no roads to begin with. But when many men pass one way, a road is made." I am grateful and encouraged by the DVLA leaders before me. I respect the paths they sought to discover and implement, and the pertinent legacy they left behind. For today's theme, I'm guided by sections of the concept paper which highlight the following. 1, the role that independent and resilient public institutions can and must play in shaping the transformation of our country and Africa. 2, the exploration of how corporate Africa can better manage the risks and opportunities in the current political and democratic context. I'm also guided by the aspiration to help build a strong public institution that will become independent and resilient. I hope to shed light on the vision and strategic growth the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority has embarked on, by leveraging technology and data integration to foster innovation in technological strength, and the dependence on value-added data in building bridges to sister institutions, and hopefully, in the very near future, across the sub-region. I will not romanticize the challenges we continue to face each passing day. Challenges which may partly be born out of issues of structure, of our institutions, of our politics, of our democracy, of leadership, of bureaucracy, and of corruption. DVLA has had the opportunity in the last 3 years to leverage the broad thinking of strategic plan that projects people, process, and technology, synthesize them as a common field of priority against strategic pillars, placing the customer as a centerpiece. The belief is that if managed correctly, this strategy should lead to an autonomous, efficient, and sustainable DVLA. The strategic plan is linked directly to His Excellency President Akufo-Addo's digital transformation agenda. There is e-certification, there's e-money, e-immigration, paperless port, digitized property addressing system, now e-driver license, and e-vehicle registration. DVLA is also making the management of data a huge component of our operations. A little of a backdrop of our story. The Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority is a public sector organization under the Ministry of Transport. It was established in 1999 by an Act of Parliament, Act 569, to provide a regulated framework for an enhanced and more effective administration of drivers and vehicles. DVLA was weaned of government subvention in March 2016. This meant that the authority was to remunerate its employees from its internally generated fund, the IGF, whilst undertaking critical investments into the future. It also necessitated system and process improvements that will guarantee improved efficiency in operations. This clearly was a charge and indeed a commission for the authority to implement plans to develop and motivate its human capital as a foundational building block. It also plays squarely on the shoulders of the authority's leadership the responsibility to innovate its business processes for new products, development, and to serve as a propellant for continuous improvement.